Welcome back to the second day of Canex Weekend 2024. Today I'm happy to be joined by one of the most celebrated culinary arts and entrepreneurship Nigerian artists I have met today with Chef Stone, and I'm happy to have him with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Known for his exceptional culinary skills and successful business venture, Chef Stone has redefined the African kitchen and the African culinary in his own way, and today I'm going to ask him a few questions. We're going to delve into what inspired him to delve into this business trip, and we're going to explore many things, so stay for this interview. And I'm going to ask you my first question, Chef. You've built a remarkable business in culinary art, combining this art with entrepreneurship. What inspired you to start your fine dining restaurant in Burgundy in Abuja?
I think for me, what really inspired me was the pursuit of excellence for Africa, because I think I spent a lot of my youth in Europe. So I was in London quite a bit, a little bit in France. So I spent a lot of time in Europe, and coming back to Africa, I wasn't very happy with the culinary scene or the gastronomy scene. So I really wanted to change that. So I started off with a culinary school to train chefs that can help the industry.
That's really interesting idea. And how did it go for you? Like, you started by the first step, since you got inspired with your experience,
yes.
And then you grew your business step by step. How did it go for you?
It was very tough because there isn't a lot of resources for small business owners, and I really had to start small. I started in a small kitchen in a remote area of Lagos that people didn't want to go to. So it took a while before I got to convince people that this was a good place to start for anyone that has the passion. I want to get into culinary arts.
As someone who represents the African cuisine on the global stage, I say, how do you integrate traditional African flavors into modern fine dining?
I think it's down to innovation, really, and I think for most chefs, we love, how organic African ingredients can be and how versatile they can be, but we don't explore them enough. So I think for me, that was the first step to really delve into, because I came back bursting from Europe with ideas of, European ideas, and then I came back and I saw just how fresh and how rich Africa was. The continent gives us so much, but we use so little. So I really wanted to incorporate a lot of the flavors and a lot of the cultures and the heritage into my cuisine. So that was what birthed the Burgundy. The idea of doing something very Pan-African, and that's the direction we went.
Yes, you've also established the Red Dish Chronicles, a culinary school. What role do you think this culinary education plays in uplifting the African cuisine on the global stage, also on the African level, and what are the future plans for this venture?
So I think the school is the backbone of everything that we've achieved, and I think starting off, I started with the school. The school will be 12 years very shortly, and I think this education is where we start. Really, it is how we can change the narrative. It is how we can get African culinary accepted internationally. We've got to educate people, we've got to educate ourselves, we've got to build better chefs that are proud of the African ingredients and the African culinary space. So it starts with education, is the most important.
Of course, it is the basic for everything, and beyond that, beyond the kitchen as well, you are known for the philanthropic efforts. Could you share more about your work with the Redish Foundation and your passion that you're giving back?
I think, working in food, you get to see a lot of things like wastage, things going to waste, while you see people on the street suffering and hungry. And I think that was really what inspired me to start up Red Dish Foundation. What we try to achieve is zero waste. And we try to also use what we can to support as many people as we can. So Redish Foundation was built for two purposes. One is to feed as many people as we can. And secondly is to give people opportunities. So there are a lot of people that have passion and they want culinary education. They want to get into the space, but they can't afford it. So we offer scholarships to people from the poorest homes that just have the passion, they have the will, and they have the drive, but they don't have the money to afford it. So we offer scholarships for them.
This is very amazing. Can you mention one of the people who were able to take advantage of this scholarship and made it big? today?
Yeah, so I think we've given scholarships to more than 200 people. I have a student that is now in Ivory Coast. He's running a kitchen. He started with a scholarship and he's doing very well. I still got a commendation from is the owner of the restaurant a few weeks ago, talking about how much he has really brought to the restaurant. So when I see things like that, it makes me proud, because the student came in, did a scholarship, he could not afford it, but now he got an opportunity in Ivory Coast and he's doing very well.
That's really nice. What do you, being having this magnificent experience that you have in this career of culinary arts, and of course as well as in entrepreneurship, I say,
Yes.
what advice would you give to the youth today who are trying to make it in the culinary world, but they are finding difficulty and facing challenges a lot? What advice would you give them?
I mean, my biggest advice would be, with anything that comes easy, never stays around very long. And you got to work hard, and you got to have a vision. You got to see the future, and nothing is impossible. Like I said, I started the businesses and everything from one small room in a small apartment in a remote area of Nigeria, and it has grown to multiple cities. We're also making plans to move outside of Nigeria and open a school outside of Nigeria, open a truck park outside of Nigeria, and it just starts with one step. So dream it, but work every day towards it, and that's my biggest advice. Yes.
Thank you for this insights. Thank you for
having
these
me.
wonderful words you're sharing with us today. And well, today it's been clear that your passion for food and business as well is making significant impact across the continent, inspiring youth in different corners of the continent. And dear listeners, stay tuned for more insights. This Canex Weekend 2024 is held in a lot of surprises. So keep up with Ifrikya FM for more coverage.